Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Football Bets for You podcast, episode number 14 of season 3. Another big week for the podcast. Not only have we got Mr. Conor Little on, but we've also got a first timer, one you may have heard us talk about before. So I'm with Conor this week, so we'll bring in Conor.
How's it going, everyone?
And the one and only Mr. Graham Lawlor.
How's it going, lads? Thanks for having me, guys.
No fucking time you're on it. Only 3 seasons in.
Look,
Hopping this podcast, Chevy.
7 years, United at top of the league. From January. So I just had.
How long did that take?
This fucker lives in London and we haven't even heard from him the last 4 years. All of a sudden we're getting text messages coming from him saying, "Oh, what's the story with United?" and all. So he's fucking back. So right, lads, look, what we're going to look at on this week's podcast is the matches for the Premier League starting on Saturday. I was looking at like the fantasy football kind of game week, and it goes right up till fucking Thursday or something, but I'm not going that far. So I'm going to Monday Night Football, and that's where we're calling it today. So, Conor, have you got, we've got a lack of a melon this week. Have you got a Melons Moan for us this week?
Yeah, I usually have something about it. I can dig one out.
I'm sure you can dig something out. I'm sure we're going to get your updates from the stocks as well, your portfolio.
Yeah. Hasn't been a great week, but
interesting. Looking forward to hearing that. And then we'll have the bets at the end. So, lads, we'll move into it. First thing we're going to look at is the first match of the week, and it is on the screen. Boom! Wolves versus West Brom. Lads, I'll give you the odds. 11-20 for Wolves. 14-5 for the draw and 11-2 for West Brom. Lawlor, you're not a big gambler. You like football, but you're not a big, massive gambler. Would I be right in saying that?
That's probably correct, yeah.
he doesn't know anything about it either.
Yeah. He's only here to just cover the United game and then he's out. Lads, decent enough odds here for Wolves. They're big favourites. West Brom obviously playing pretty shit lately. So, Conor, how do you see this one going? 11-20, not really a great price. Probably wouldn't be throwing them in an for that, would you?
Nah, not with. They're not playing great themselves either, Wolves. But when you look at kind of what West Brom have put up the last couple of weeks, obviously they scraped the win last week in the cup. But they got beaten last week on penalties. Sorry, they were almost going to scrape a win, and then they conceded once in the 94th minute. So even that was an absolute shambles. It was a 3-3, I think it finished after extra time. Big Sam struggling, and you're kind of taking points off Liverpool, but that's not really saying much at the moment. It's still not good enough odds, I don't think, to put Wolves in, especially in an early game on a Saturday. I won't be out in any of my bets, but I still fancy Wolves anyway.
Lana, what do you reckon this one here?
You'd think Wolves have it. Then again, it's not good enough price. I wouldn't say to put into any bets. So you don't know with Big Sam and his games either. So it's not worth the risk, I don't think.
It is true, actually, when you think about you do forget sometimes that Big Sam's there and he's a bit of a fucking specialist against getting results against kind of he's the underdog. So, like in terms of Wolves, like form, they haven't had a league win in the last 8 games, maybe 7 or 8 games. A couple of draws along the way. But Conor's going to fact check that one now and call me out when I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
It's a derby game.
Yeah, like I do think.
We have Hallmark here to do the UK geography for us.
That's good. Yeah,
it's a Black County derby. It hasn't happened since 2013. I don't think.
Lovely. So, lads, score predictions on this one. We'll skip on past this one because it's a bit of a shitty game. Lawlor, what score do you reckon this one will be?
Joe, I think it could be a 1-1 draw.
Oh, hello. You reckon West Brom might scrape something?
I think they might scrape something with Big Sam in there. You just don't know. Wolves haven't been playing great.
Would you care to venture a goal scorer? Who would you reckon would be on the score list for that one?
Oh, I don't know. Callum Robinson, maybe.
Oh, interesting one. Conor, what do you reckon?
I think Wolves just have enough. I think they'll go 1 up early and then score late on again. So I'm going to go 2-0 Wolves. And because of his goal last week, and I reckon he'll get a start the weekend, I'm going to go with Dan Traore.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, I do think the same thing. Yeah, I do think the same thing. I think Wolves might have a little bit too much for West Brom. I'm going to say a tight game, but I'd say a 2-1 win to Wolves. And I'm going to go... Neto's not suspended, is he? Or injured or anything?
I don't think so.
Right, I'm gonna say Neto as first scorer. Right, lads, we'll move on to the next game.
The anticipation is building.
Leeds.
Sorry. Leeds and Brighton. Leeds 21-20. The draw is 13-5 and 12-5 for Brighton. Good prices all around. Tough one to call. I think this will be a tight enough game. You don't know what you're going to get with Leeds. How do you say this one, Lawlor? What do you reckon here, Leeds? Bit of a fucking hit and miss team, like.
It just depends. It depends what Leeds team turns up on the day, really, isn't it? Like, and if you look, it just don't like they leak goals, but then again, Brighton aren't great for scoring. I think Leeds will have enough to beat Brighton this time round, though. At Ellen Road as well. Not even though there's no fans there, I just think Leeds will have enough against Brighton, and Brighton have been struggling this year. Yeah,
there's no wins in the last 5 games. Anyway, I don't know how far back. I've only got the last 5 games up there, so there's no win in 5. Leeds had 3 wins in the 6. Leeds had 3 wins and 3 losses in the last 6 games. So Leeds obviously in slightly better form. Brighton are at risk of being relegated this year. They're only 2 points clear of Fulham, who have 2 games in hand of them. Do you reckon Brighton are liable to get relegated this season, or do you reckon they'll have enough to stay up?
Tough to say. I think maybe they started believing their own hype with Potter.
Yeah,
going in there, doing well last year. It'd be interesting to see when push comes to shove and they come up difficult games, not getting wins. Do they have enough to really dig deep in that squad? I don't know. Like, I mean, Chris was getting that out of them when they struggled at the back end of seasons. He was able to delve out results. I don't know if they have the squad for that anymore.
Yeah. It is a good point. Conor, what do you reckon? Did you have Brighton in one of your teams to get relegated this year, didn't you?
So far, I had Sheffield United, Fulham, and Brighton, so it's not looking too bad at the moment for each three to go down. Yeah, they're struggling again. I think they're like Leeds. They're a little bit hot and cold. They played well against City last night from the bits of it I saw. Probably could have nicked an equaliser.
There was one moment at the end where I could see the frustration of Potter there, and I think they had a corner kick in the last few minutes, and I think he just booted it out for a fucking goal kick, and he just turns around and just goes, "What the fuck?" Like, he just turns around, storms off.
It didn't look like City against Brighton in the Etihad when City were winning that close to the end. You never really seen a team like that push City late on to try find an equaliser.
Yeah,
but as I said, as Lawlor said, it's easier for them to play against the big teams like that because they're on a high than nothing. But when they have to play against the likes of Leeds or the likes of Newcastle or Burnley, whatever it might be a little bit trickier for them. I actually had this down on my bet. One of the bets actually later on. Spoiler alert. But I think it has draw written all over it.
Think so, yeah. What score prediction are you giving on this one?
Well, Leeds are involved, so it can't be a nil.
17-4.
Yeah, no, it's a draw, so 17-all.
Oh yeah.
Brighton have conceded and they have scored as well themselves. They've got 2 all draws. They've got 1 all draws. They had 3 all draws more recently than that. I'm going to go 2-all.
There's the league table there at the moment. So look, you can see Brighton sitting in 17th, Leeds up in 12th. 9-point gap between the two, and Leeds have a game in hand. So, so you're saying you reckon 2-all there for that one?
I reckon 2-all, yeah.
And scorer?
I will go with. I'll go with Rodrigo.
He hasn't been scoring much, has he?
No, he hasn't, and he's been playing when he's been playing through the centre on his own, and they've been swapping him out for Bamford, and that's why he's been playing in the likes of the cup games where he's coming on late. He played well at the weekend, so I reckon he might get a run on the wing. And I think he's dangerous coming in on the left foot, hitting left foot. So, yeah, I fancy Rodrigo as well.
Cool. Lawler, what do you reckon score-wise on this one?
I reckon 3-1 Leeds. Harrison and Bamford to be on the score sheet.
2 scorers. The man's shaking it up.
Wow. Oh, wow. Hello. So
is there going to be a throw in the first minute?
That's the big question. They were the days.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh.
Throw in the first minute. There you go.
There you go. There's a Lawler special for his lads. I'm going to go with a
5-4 for that as well.
I'm going to go with a 3-2 win for Leeds here. I think there's going to be goals in this one. I'm going to say Paddy Bamford's going to score 2 in this one. I think he's due a nice brace, like nearly getting a hat-trick and then maybe getting whipped off with 5 minutes left, just a little bit pissed off, like.
Or even better, missing a sitter for his hat-trick.
Yeah.
It's usually what he does.
That's actually more likely, yeah. Right, lads, we'll move on to the next one, which is, boom, West Ham and Burnley. 3-4 for West Ham at the moment, and 13-5 for the draw, and 15-4 for Burnley. Not too bad. Burnley sitting in 16th in position with 16 points, and West Ham are in 10th. West Ham have kind of picked up a couple of surprising results there over the last couple of weeks. Who was it they beat 1-0? Was it Leicester?
Last week.
Everton, sorry, yeah. That was a really good win actually for them. Moyes seems to be doing the job there. Sitting in 10th position, it's not too bad considering I probably would have thought they would have been struggling 15th, 16th position maybe come the end of the season. I don't know. I reckon maybe 8th or 9th maybe. Might be a bit overshooting it, is it? Not sure.
I don't know. I think, again, it's another team that we're looking at it. There's no consistency of teams getting absolutely hockey every week or winning every week. So I still think they're a little bit up in the air. I think that West Ham are a great price at home against Burnley. They don't drop a lot. They don't get beaten a lot at home. They drop points mostly with draws at home, but they're still not getting beaten a lot. Yeah. And you look at some of Burnley's performances. Never mind their results. Like in the last 4 games, just looking at them here, they've beaten Sheffield United, and that's it. And they don't put that down as a massive result, to be honest.
No.
So, still fancy West Ham. I think that's a great price at 3-4 at home. And that's where it could have my money be going anyway.
And Lawler, are you along the same line here, or do you reckon Burnley are going to be a bit tougher than that?
Burnley made it tough for United the other night, but I think in a game where they have to come out a little bit more against West Ham, I think West Ham will have enough to beat them. Like they have a decent record, Burnley, against West Ham in the last 4 games. That West Ham have only won once, but I just think as form is happening at the minute, I think
West Ham stats.
Just
really bring you in full time here. What could be getting
about last night there? I said I was going to make my
forwards are in for playing jokes.
Other facts out other than blatant Chelsea or.
No, really can't wait to hear you. Speaking of that one, it's coming up next. But what do you reckon, right, lads? We'll skip on to this one because we do have a good one to cover with the likes of the game of the week, which is coming up on the next one, which is Fulham and Chelsea, and then we've got probably the second best game of the week with Liverpool and United. So, lads, we'll move on from this one, but I want score predictions on this before we do. So, Conor, you went with West Ham. So, what score are you going with? 3-4, savage price, I reckon as well.
I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham. Because Water is not here, I'm going to call out the only West Ham player he knows. I'm going to say Conor is going to score.
Lawler, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think 1-0 as well.
Really,
not much sure for the goal scorer, Souček, but I go Souček too as well, just to wind Water up.
He doesn't know a West Ham player either. That's the thing.
Mikel Declan Rice.
Melon gave a 4 scorer last week for Newcastle as Kieran Clark, and
Oh yeah, do you know what I was saying that? Kieran Clark.
Fuck's sake.
I lost it.
I was gone. We were gone. As soon as you heard that, we were gone. So you reckon 1-0 as well with Souček? So you're going the exact same as Conor, are you?
I'm going the same as Conor, yeah.
All right. I'm going to go with a... how do I see this one going? I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for West Ham. I do think Antonio is going to score. I do think they're going to comfortably win this one for some reason.
Against Burnley.
I think so. I think Burnley are going to get a player sent off. Right, mark me words here. I think
is Antonio not injured? He's been injured the last 2 weeks.
Don't think so. I thought he played last week.
No, unless he played against Stockport in the cup, but he didn't play against Everton.
I thought he was playing last week. Let me just double check it here. 2 seconds. I do think it's going to be comfortable though. Anyway, for West Ham, I don't think they're. I think Burnley are going to get a player sent off, and I do think that West Ham are probably going to take an early lead. So
I think West Ham need Antonio fit after selling Sebastian Haller as well.
Yeah. No, he's fit. He played half an hour against Everton.
Oh, did he? Oh,
well,
yeah.
Okay. Back now.
Fuck's sake! You need to brush up like
he wasn't injured. He was sick before that. Had COVID or something.
He was playing the game before that against Southampton as well. But look, we won't get into the facts here, all right? We'll let this one slide, and if you act the bollocks, I'm fucking bringing it back up. I'm saying 3-1, and I reckon Antonio is going to score. Lads, we're moving on from that one, and we're going on to the game of the week. Chelsea and Fulham. Can we get that? Hold on a second. Nah, never mind. So Fulham are 11-2. The draw is 10-3, and Chelsea are 1-2. I'm loving Chelsea's price, just for the simple facts that I love everything about them. Lawlor, can I get your opinion? You have been dying to have a little word about this because I've been giving you stick all season about Ollie, and I want to hear your opinion on Frank Lampard. So go on. This is your moment.
It's an opinion, but you've been slating Ollie, and Ollie's getting all the stick of being, before Christmas and kind of up to November point with Ollie. He's getting all the stick, and should he be sacked? Should he not? And nothing about Frank. And you look at how it's changed even in a month, and Chelsea are 10 points behind United. Honestly, think Frank's just not getting the flack because he's English, and that's just how it is.
Now, Ollie, it's the point where I'd like you to share your screen of WhatsApp messages that has Graham Lawlor saying, "Fuck Ollie, he's shite. Ollie out. Get rid of him."
Hold on.
Fucking clue.
Hold on now, before we get on, have I once? You've tried many times over the past 2 years that Ollie's been in charge to get me to say Ollie out. Have I once said it? No.
I do believe that Lawlor has been 100% Ollie in from the start, and I cannot deny it. I have been trying to turn him, and I just wanted him. I was just throwing bait out, and he just never took it. Like, he was always kind of backing him. But so now my question is: so you're after giving Frank Lampard absolute stick there. So you're saying he's not up to the task, and he's not doing what he needs to be doing.
I never said he wasn't up to the task. I felt that the stick that Ollie was getting, and with Frank getting no flack, it didn't add up to me. I go, why is Ollie getting flack and Frank wasn't? It just
the only reason I think Lampard is not getting as much, not because he's English, but I think because people saw the situation that he came in where he couldn't make signings. Now I know he spent an absolute fucking fortune this year. Yeah, he spent a fortune this year, which is fair enough. But last year, you seen he had a team of young players and done well with them. Like, we pretty much secured fourth, and then he fucked it up at the end of the season. But I think that's why he's getting a little bit more slack.
I've nothing against Frank, and I think you should give him time as well. He's bought a lot of players in the summer. Yeah. Like, when you buy players, especially with what's going on at the minute, he's had Havertz, who took 4 weeks after having COVID come back. When you're trying to blend so many players into a squad, it might take that year of blending, and then hopefully next year you will push on. But what I didn't like was the fact that Ollie was getting stick and Frank wasn't. When I think Ollie deserved time, there's something systematically wrong in United. at board level, and we haven't had so many managers come through the door at Old Trafford that don't know anything about football. Mourinho, Van Gaal, Moyes, all of these lads have come in. We've sacked them. There's something else wrong, and something else that needs to change. And what I didn't like was why Ollie was getting all the stick when I didn't think he deserved it.
Why Ollie get more time than the rest of them managers?
I found it.
Okay, right. Okay, go on. Show us.
Lawler, you said that if United didn't qualify for the next round of the Champions League, if we lose the game against PSG, Ollie is gone.
That's not saying he wants
not against PSG.
I said I reckon Ollie is gone. That the board would make that decision because that it's not that I wanted him to go.
And you said he'll be sacked after this.
Yes,
which he wasn't. That sounds like your opinion.
Is it that he will be?
Sounds like you're calling for his head. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
he will be.
Because that's what. Then you said you're a minute behind because you're watching illegal streams as well. We won't get into that.
At that point as well. At that point in time, there was things about Ollie in the press at the time that they were talking with Pochettino and all those rumours around. So that's why I thought, do you know what? If he does lose here, that's what's going to happen, because that's what's happened to Mourinho. That's what's happened to Van Gaal and the Moyes. When shit hit the fan, there was always sniffs that they were in for the next manager, and it was coming out in the press before it actually happened. And there's so much wrong at board level in Manchester United. Still is. I think Ollie is doing a good job. Yes.
So I want to know is, if I had why so much time for Ollie out of all of them?
I wouldn't have. He's changed the culture, and yes, maybe going back to his playing days.
It's too much respect for him. Like, that's what it is.
On the 6th of November, you also said, "I'll do a bet right now. Tenner on Ollie to be sacked this weekend."
I wanted him to be. Never have once have I said I wanted him to be.
I don't know. You might have said a few times
growing up, and so I have that particular allegiance to him. But I just think it got to a stage where we were sacking manager after manager after manager. At the end of the day, there's something else wrong. It can't be all these managers are wrong, and none of them are good enough.
I think that's the modern day game. Like, and I know we all want a fucking long term manager. Like, and like you look at Klopp there, and like Klopp's obviously there for a few years, but. I only see Klopp finishing out this contract, and I don't see him going any further than that. Like, I just don't think. I think there's too much attraction in. Like, I don't think people are happy now with just staying in the one place and being content in the one place. I think they want to
be happy with staying in the one place now. Do you?
Well, I think now he's punching above his weight. He's punching above his weight. I reckon.
But would Frank go anywhere else?
I'd say he would, yeah.
Great job.
You have to, because they're going to sack him.
He's going to get sacked, but like I don't think that Lampard has his whole future managerial planned out for him to manage Chelsea for the rest of his life. He knows it's not going to happen. He knows there's a certain time span within Chelsea, 4 or 5 years, and then that's it. You're gone.
Okay, yeah, but say he was a very, very successful manager. Would he want to go anywhere else? I don't think he would. Whereas Klopp might get to a stage where he said, "I've done all I can do in Liverpool. I'm going to go somewhere else." If Frank was winning trophy after trophy, I don't think he's the type of fellow who's going, "I've won all I can here at Chelsea. I'm going to go try somewhere else." I don't think that's it. I think he would stay there.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think that's because of Frank has that link to Chelsea. Plus, I don't see him as a manager who wants to build something. The way I'd look at the likes of like Brendan Rodgers, maybe, or the way I'd look at Klopp, or the way I'd look at. Not really Pep anymore, but Pep initially. Seems Pep already goes into places that are already built now for him, where they want to make that move up as opposed to constantly winning. That's the reason why Klopp has always said that. Not if England becomes too easy, but he's built Liverpool.
You don't think Lampard wants to build something there?
No, I think Lampard is happy being at the club he loves, played for years, and was a legend. And he'd stay there if he was winning stuff.
He's 100% building something there. Look at the players he's using. Why would he blood through all them youth players?
Because you can fortune to buy them.
But last year he didn't have that money. He didn't have Havertz, didn't have fucking Werner, didn't have Ziyech, didn't have fucking Thiago Silva, who had bags of experience. He was using Zuma, he was using Tamori, he was using Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, all them players, Reece James, like they're all fucking they're all under the age of 24, 25, and they're all fucking quality. Like, and he is blooding them in with the new experienced players, the better class players, the likes of the ZH.
What happened to you mentioned Tomori? What happened to Tomori?
He's still there. He's still on the bench.
No, he's not. He's out there being sold yesterday.
I didn't see that.
Do you know what I mean?
But he's class, and I actually think he should have been in ahead of Zuma. Now Zuma has proven me wrong this year. He's playing very well, but Tomori is definitely one that I thought would have been there. Now I don't know why he fell out of favour with Frank, because last year I actually thought he played pretty well and he was doing really good. And I'm actually surprised that Reece James has come in.
What about Lucas Piazon, who played 3 games in 9 years?
So let me just see. I'm not saying nothing about Tomori and fucking Sol there.
Are you not?
No. I don't think he was, to be fair. I don't think it was Tomori. He was on the bench there last week anyway, I know that. But yeah, no, I do think that Lampard is
Oh, sorry, there it is. Tomori's on Milan's wanting this after Chelsea open the door to him leave.
Right, fair enough. See, like even like that even tells you there Milan are after him, like, so that's why I don't understand why he's not playing. Like he is, you know.
Let's not put Milan on a pedestal here.
Well, they're doing pretty well. Like they're definitely better now this over the last year or two than they have been over the last fucking 7 or 8 years. Like that whole thing, like they had a massive squad like back in the day with fucking Kaká and all there, but and that squad kind of fell apart. And you had the odd talent coming up through, but like now they're starting to build a little bit more. So
probably raging they didn't get Jeff Hendrick in the summer, you know. That would have brought
what a squad. What a squad. I think they're looking for Leon Best as well.
Conor Salmon, I heard, is up for debate there as well. So Lawler, in terms of what Conor's saying there, do you think Lampard's building to something, or do you think it's just he's in just trying to? I don't know, Conor. What
I didn't say he's not building something at Chelsea. I said he doesn't strike me as a manager who would leave to go build something somewhere else. He said if he's winning at Chelsea, he'd stay at Chelsea because he's winning. He wouldn't be like, my project is done here, I'm going to move my project somewhere else.
Right, okay.
So, like, probably nobody thought Pep was going to stay as long at City as he did. And thought it would be just another 3 years, just like he did at Bayern Munich, just like he did at Barcelona, 3 years out. And, you know, that doesn't... Look, at Mourinho had the same sort of record. You know, he did a couple of years, won a couple, moved on. If Ollie starts winning things, I don't think he's going to move. He'd be like, Premier Leagues, I think I'll head off now. Not going to happen. Frank's the same.
I think Pep would have left, but City's only goal was to win the Champions League. He hasn't done it yet. That's the reason why he hasn't moved yet, because he hasn't done it. He hasn't hit his goal or his target.
Yeah, he is.
I reckon if he had won,
that's his one thing at Chelsea he won. Like, or at City, sorry.
If he had won the Champions League before that contract is finished, I reckon he would have won.
Yeah, possibly could have, yeah.
Lads, under an hour here, colleague, yeah?
Yeah, let's go. We're going to move on. So, how do we see this one going? Obviously, being the London derby, Chelsea not in great form at the moment. Do you reckon they'll turn Fulham over here, or do you reckon that Fulham may get something out of it? We've seen, obviously, the lack of preparation for their Spurs game, and it was always going to be they were always going to get a result when all that bullshit was being said. So, obviously, drawing 1-1 against Spurs. Great result for them. Spurs could have been nicked at the same time. But what do you reckon here? Do you reckon they'll get resulted against Chelsea, or?
I reckon Chelsea will win. I think they'll be too strong. Will the effects of midweek playing Spurs when they didn't expect it, and then the change of the fixtures, enough time? Like there should have been enough time for preparation, but I just think Chelsea will win.
Yeah. Scoreline and goal scorer.
Scoreline. 2-1 Chelsea. I don't think it'll be that comfortable.
Okay.
2-1 Chelsea. Good old gorgeous Giroud.
Oh, gorgeous bastard. Hasn't been playing much lately. I do think that Lampard's plan looks to be play Werner down the middle and have Ziyech out right and Pulisic out the left. So I do fear for and Giroud, but yeah, Werner's not scoring. It's going to drop him.
Like Werner not scoring. Giroud up against Tim Ream. Come on.
They'll ream him. Absolutely ream him. So you're going with, what was it, 2-1 you said? And
2-1, yeah. 2-0, 2. Yeah, 2-1. We go 2-1. Leaky Chelsea. We concede one.
Connor?
Sorry, just one thing I wanted to say as well was I think actually Scotty Parker got into Jose Mourinho's head for the first time. I think he's one of the first people to ever get into Mourinho's head about his comments about not having enough time, because Mourinho bit back in big style, which was great, and obviously getting the result was even better. But don't fancy Fulham either. Fancy Chelsea the weekend. Again, I think I agree with Graham. It's not going to be a pushover. It's not going to be an absolute rout. So I could see 2-1 Chelsea, and I'm going to back Mason Mount.
Very nice. I do think Chelsea are going to win this one. I hate saying it now because I just feel like I'm putting the jinx on them now. But I do think they're going to win. I do think it'll be a 3-1 win. I think it'll be comfortable.
You think that's putting the jinx? Wait until we get to the Liverpool United.
I do think 3-1, and I'm going to say Werner's going to score because he scored against Morecambe, which is a big team, a massive club. So I reckon he'll continue on his scoring and go on down. Right, lads, we're moving off Chelsea because we're going to try to keep this under an hour. Next one, bang, 8 p.m. on Saturday, Leicester versus Southampton. A decent enough match here, lads. 3-4 for Leicester, 11-4 for the draw, and 7-2 for Southampton. Connor, what way do you see this going? Do you think there'll be goals in this one, or do you think this will be a kind of a low-scoring game?
I can't see there being goals, to be honest. Neither side have been pissing many. And to be honest, I think they're going to nullify each other. They play quite similar football. They play pretty expansive. They rely on teams coming out, and I reckon Southampton are going to sit back a little bit. Purely from being away from home and kind of being the underdog still. Leicester's not a bad price, but it's still not something I'd fancy putting money at, to be honest. And both sides are probably overachieving to what they probably would have thought at the start of the season as well, especially Southampton. I know Leicester still would have fancied themselves in and around top 3, top 4, top 5, but still even that, 7th as you can see for Southampton, what are Leicester third?
Third, yeah. Sorry, just trying to get the thing here. Third, and Leicester sitting in fourth, and Southampton sitting in 7th. So obviously Leicester are 32 points, only 3 points off each other. Similar enough records, Southampton losing a few more, and Leicester picking up a few more draws. But yeah, similar enough. I think you're saying, they'll be similar. They play a similar enough style.
They play very similar football.
Yeah.
Very similar outlaws. It's the same thing.
Be looking for space in behind, and I think Southampton will know that, and they won't really want to give that. And it's going to be the same as well with Ings, isn't it? Ings is going to be looking for that type of space in behind. So
I think Ings will prefer to play it more with his back to goal, maybe, or a ball at the feet. But I think Leicester are comfortable enough to step up and let him play in behind if necessary, and try to get the press on. It's Southampton that need to sit in deep with Maddison and Rivardi playing up top, or playing the 9 and the 10. But yeah, I can't really see many goals in that. I wouldn't love to nick it. When you come back to me for a score result, I'll give you one, but that's kind of just get nicked.
I think it'd be a cagey affair. You see Ralph Hasenhüttl in the
Hasenhüttl
in the
earlier.
area.
We don't like each other for pronunciations here. You'll see why later.
But in the earlier game of the season, when they won and he dropped to the knees, after the 9-0 last season, so he won't let them forget 9-0 last year.
Yeah,
nice cagey affair. Leicester are a good side, again expansive, but like you said, it will nullify them with Southampton the way they are. Southampton are very good from dead ball, though. Yeah,
that might be the big threat, I think, for them.
It could be a decent threat with Ward-Prowse on those dead balls. Yeah, come back.
Give us a scoreline. Give us a scoreline and a goal score, because we'll move on, because we want to get to the Liverpool United one.
I'll go 2-0 Leicester.
Oh, goal scorer.
Damari Gray. No, he's played 7 minutes all season or something.
I was wondering. Emil Heskey.
Oh, I go Tillemans.
Oh, nice. Connor, what do you reckon scoreline?
1-0 Southampton.
Oh, hello. I don't
I
believe you actually think that's what's going to happen. I believe you just want to go like that because you're not sure. Am I right in saying that?
I thought I said a team's going to nick. I think it's a flip of a coin, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I flipped the coin and it has landed on Southampton.
Oh,
and I'm going to agree with Graham at set pieces, and I'm going to put money on James Ward-Prowse. Dead ball.
Yeah. I liked how I gave Southampton the old nod and then said 2-0 Leicester.
Really good.
Really good. Leicester 2-0, definitely 2-0. I actually am going to sit in the fence here, lads. So one of us is going to be correct. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw here. I think it's going to be.
What a betting podcast this is.
It's going to be.
We're
like
covering the range.
You're saying that you're completely right. Watch, it'll be a fucking 4-0 whitewash now to somebody. But I do think you're right where like they play expansive football. Both of them do. They're very similar in style. That their attackers are looking for pretty similar things where they want space behind and they want to kind of run out one-on-one with keepers and stuff. So I do think it's going to be 1-1, and I'm actually going to say Ings and Vardy are going to score. So get your fucking house on that one. Lads, we'll move on to the next one. Sunday, 2:05, bit of a weird one. Sheffield United versus Tottenham. 5-1 for Sheffield United, 29-10 for the draw, and Spurs are 4-7. Obviously, Mourinho's going to have to react after the 1-1 draw against Fulham. Pretty embarrassing. What do you reckon here, Connor? Do you reckon there is a bit of bounce back ability within Mourinho, or do you reckon that they're gonna drop again? Obviously, Sheffield United win last week, so on a bit of a high. I don't know how high you didn't go though.
I think that's a cracking price for Spurs. 4-7 is still good money. Yeah. Your away we saw this season doesn't really matter. 60% of the teams away from home win. So I don't think home advantage comes into it at all. Spurs have to bounce back. Like as I said, they're struggling in the last 6 games. They only picked up 1 win in the last 6. They need to hold on to that kind of top 6 positions. They need to kind of stay within touch. They know one of Liverpool and United or both are going to drop points, so I think that's going to push them on a little bit as well. I can see them blowing Sheffield out of the water in this, to be honest.
Lads, looking at the relegation battle there again, are we sticking on the assumption that Sheffield United are gone and there's no way back for them? Lawler, what do you reckon on this one?
Yeah, no way back for Sheffield United. I think Brighton will go down though. I think Brighton will go down.
Oh, might actually get your no, you know what? I won't, because it's a bit putting you on the we all get predictions at the start of the season there with top 4 relegation. I think it was Champions League and then top scorer. But
I think Fulham will stay up and Brighton will go down,
and West Brom and Sheffield United. Yeah, nice one. Well, top 4. Who do you reckon top 4 then? We'll put you on the spot then.
I don't really want to pick that
one. In order as well.
In order, from 4 to 1st.
Go on, say it.
I think Spurs will take Leicester's place in that top 4. And the 4 will be that 4 in some order, in some shape or form.
We want the order.
Oh.
So Spurs are 4th. Who are you going toward?
City.
Second?
No, hang on. First. Who's going to win the league?
I don't know. No.
No.
We want to say United. We can't play United.
Who do you think will win the league?
City 3rd, Spurs 4th. And the other 2 then in the top 2.
No. I want to hear you 30 they're going to win the league. I want to hear
it. No, I'm not saying it.
So who's second and first?
United are going to win the league.
Oh my God, absolute sins. I cannot wait to screenshot this, and this is going on Instagram and everybody will be watching this.
I will give over.
Oh yeah, that is going up on the Instagram page.
Ollie.
You've committed to it.
Yeah, beautiful moment when City go on to win the league.
Absolutely.
Newcastle United. Was I not talking about Newcastle? Maybe Sheffield United will win every game from the end of the season.
Don't worry, I can edit it where I just go, who's going to win the league, Man United or Liverpool? You'll just go Man United. So it will work fine either way. Lads, score predictions on Spurs. We're moving off it. Lawler.
3-0 Spurs.
3-0. Goal scorer. Son, Kane. Which one do you want?
We got Kane.
Right, Conor.
2-0 Spurs.
Ndombele.
Yourself, bro.
Oh, hello. I'm going to go a 3-1. I keep saying 3-1, don't I? I'm going to say 2-0. 2-0 to Spurs. And I'm going to go Harry Winks.
What's this? Pull the fucking most strangest goal scorer out your hole.
Yeah, gotta get the listeners some value here. Yeah, we're waiting for that one moment where we can have an outrageous guess, and then we get it absolutely spot on. And then
Newcastle to win 1-0 and Kieran Clark to score.
Yeah, that's what you get on this podcast. Yeah, right, that's the scores. What?
3-0 Spurs. John and 1 gate score.
Right, lads, Super Sunday has just become that more super because at 4:30 we have Liverpool versus Manchester United. Evens for Liverpool. When do you get evens at home for Liverpool? Unbelievable price. 13-5 for the draw and 13-5 for United. Conor, I'm going to you first because I want to hear your opinion on this match. How do you think this one's going to go? And then I want your honest opinion on how you think this one is going to go. So, Conor, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm nervous about it. I don't think I've been as nervous about Liverpool United and Anfield for a long time. Not because United are playing particularly well. I think they're still absolutely dreadful. But it just shows you how badly Liverpool are playing, how badly they played against Southampton, how badly they played against Villa in the Cup, even against Villa's kids, and a very strong Liverpool side. I know they blew them out of the park in the second half, but in the first half it was awful. It's not great. It's worrying. You can't even put it down to the injuries now because we're only missing really one player, 2 players, missing 2 centre halves. Matip's out injured now as well, but he was never a title winning centre half regardless. He was always one that I'd look to have replaced. I sat in the podcast 2 months ago and said that if Liverpool were going to win the league and have to buy a centre half in January, it looks like we're not getting a centre half in January, which is a big problem. So yeah, I'm worried. Well, I said City were going to win the league anyway, and I think I still stand by that because of the run they're in at the moment. I don't think United will keep up their run. I think Liverpool will still go through phases of 5 and 6 wins, a draw and a loss, 5 and 6 wins. It won't be as consistent as last year. I think Liverpool can get a result at the weekend if they take Jordan Henderson out at centre half. If Jordan Henderson plays centre half, they'll get beaten. If you take him out of centre half and put him back in the midfield where he has, in fairness to him, I always had this thing of like Jordan Henderson doesn't do anything, but you take him out in midfield, you can see how much he actually benefits the three in midfield. If you can take him out of there and put in a younger centre half, Nate Phillips, Reece Williams, someone who actually is at position, but not as experienced, but that's their job. Yeah. They have a chance then to get a draw or maybe nick a win late on.
Liverpool without a win in the last 3 in the Premier League. Does that worry you, or do you reckon that's just purely like, is that tired legs, or is that down, like you're saying, down to they're not scoring many goals either. Like, obviously they beat fucking Crystal Palace like 7-0 or something, but they're not the usual Liverpool where they're winning 4-5-0 and even scoring 4 or 5 goals. Like,
what's even more worrying as a Liverpool supporter is they're not creating many clear-cut chances. If they were scoring 1 goal or no goals and they missed 8 sitters, you'd be like, okay, they're still creating. But you look back at like the Southampton game, they had no clear-cut chances. They had a half volley from Mane that Fraser Forster saved well, but he shouldn't have got it on target anyway. It was like you've done well to get that on target. There was no clear-cut chances. There was no clearances off the line. There was nothing like that. And that's more worrying than not scored for me.
Yeah.
I think it comes from where it's coming from is they're not pressing as high because they're afraid of their back line. So they're automatically, the midfield are sitting deeper, the wingers are sitting deeper. They're not getting that presses where they got so many chances of goals from last season.
Yeah.
So I think it stems from not having a centre half at the back at the moment. And he plays 2 midfielders in there. I hope to see Thiago back fit because I think Thiago gives a little bit that's not. It's not a high press game, so if you're not playing high press, he can still create something for you going forward. But again, you're relying on somebody who's quite injury prone this season. So,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying with the likes of Van Dijk on there and the lack of confidence now playing out from the back or whatever it may be. Maybe not necessarily playing from the back, but maybe just that. Yeah, so maybe just the midfield fearing a little bit more and trying to cover a little bit more. Similar enough to what we were saying about Sheffield United last week about the way they haven't got Henderson there behind anymore. Just lack that bit of confidence coming out from the back. So that's why you can see they're kind of a different team this season. So, so you reckon you'd be happy enough with a draw anyway?
If you're not happy with a draw now, I'd take it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Lawler.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what front three would you like United to start with? Do you think would suit you best? Would you like to see Cavani up against you, or would you rather they go Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood?
I prefer to see Cavani because I reckon that if he was to play someone like a midfielder in, say he played Henderson and Fabinho in, I reckon that their inexperience, but their legs would help them get back around. Yeah. I think someone with a turn of pace or someone with 5 yards on Fabinho, say for instance, having that little bit of cuteness will damage Liverpool more, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cavani won't be a bad option either, but I think his main thing is physicality. I think Liverpool have that in abundance at the back. They play Fabinho and stuff. I think it's that turn of foot that will affect them.
I think it'd be interesting to see what side he puts out. I think Cavani for this game might be better utilised as an impact sub, and the 3 goals he has scored for United have all come when he's come off the bench. So I don't
know about that one. I think that if Ollie looks at it, he might think, right, Klopp's obviously going to have to play an inexperienced defender who won't be used to playing against these type of world-class centre forwards who make these runs that are.
Would you rather that fella make the world-class runs when the defender's tired?
I don't care. I don't think it matters. I think Cavani has a bit of pace as well. So I don't think he's the fastest person in the world, but he's also definitely not the slowest person in the world. His runs aren't about pace; they're all about brains. And I think in terms of a defender against attacker, I think he's got the better brains. So I think the smarter option might actually be Cavani up front there for United.
I'd be looking back and what I'd be worried about, especially if you look back to last season, Liverpool struggled on their right-hand side with Rashford against Alexander-Arnold because he wasn't up for it. He didn't fancy the tracking back. They struggled on the other side of Martial, and I think if you're already struggling down the wings with those 2 players, I'd be like looking at the likes of Mason Greenwood or something playing up front for more wheels going through the centre as an option, or swapping Greenwood and Martial over, say whatever it might look like, and put wheels against them because the Liverpool fullbacks don't like defending.
Like Rashford was poor on the right hand side the other night, and he much prefers the left. But he Martial's better from the left hand side as well. But he was muck the other night. Muck.
If I was a United fan, I'd have Rashford running against Alexander-Arnold all day long.
I want Rashford on the left hand side, Greenwood on the right hand side, and whether you play Martial or Cavani down the middle. But you have to have Rashford.
Can you not play Fred up front or something instead? Go on, be sound.
I think it's a no-brainer. I think between Martial and Cavani there, like I'd be fucking Cavani all day long. Like this first game he played, the very first run he made, I was like, fucking hell. I was like, you can see that's a top class run. He's a world class player. You can see it, like. But I don't know. It could go either way. This one, I think it is gonna be a tight game. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of goals. Like I think it's gonna be. Yeah. It's gonna be. It might be just fucking chess really between the 2 of them. Like
it's not going to be. I was just going to say it's not going to be a game where typically it would be United trying to keep up with how many goals Liverpool could score. Like it would be last season where Liverpool are going to score 3. You might score 3 against them, but you have to keep up with how many they're going to score. I think it's going to be the opposite way around. Liverpool are going to have to try to keep up with how many goals United are going to put past their poor back 4, their poor back 5.
I think
the one thing I think that I don't fear. Like I don't care about this result. To be honest with you, I don't think Chelsea are going to win the league anyway. So it makes no odds to me.
You've already cashed out, so
yeah. So, but I think that Liverpool are more likely to spank United 4-0 in this game, I think, than any other game. And I know it's when you look at form, it doesn't seem like that, but they are really, really like they beat the likes of Palace there 7-0. When they get going, they're very hard to stop, and it doesn't take a lot to kind of break down the United team, I don't think. So I think it could be a 4-0 win for Liverpool. Easily. Now I'm not saying that it will be, but I'm just saying it could definitely go that way. I wouldn't see it being the other way around where I think United could win 4-0. I don't think so. I think it could. If either teams are going to win,
it's going to be Liverpool. To be honest, I think that's more likely than Liverpool winning 4-0.
I don't know.
I can see it being a bowl. I can see it being a draw.
I do see a draw.
Or United nicking it. That's
all right. I do see draw.
You see draw, and you also see Liverpool 4-0.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if there's a team that are going to be more likely to bash the other team, I think it's going to be Liverpool over United. I know United, all the stats point towards United, and they look like they're in better form. The players are in better form. I still do think that Liverpool have that bit of class. Like you can't deny it. Like the likes of Salah there and Mane, like they are a different level when they get going.
Be
there. Lads, score predictions on this one. What are we going to say? I'm going to jump in and go before you because I don't support either of them. And I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. And I'm going to give you Cavani because I've been bigging him up. Conor, what do you reckon?
I think 1-0 United.
Oh, you're there's a cop out. Lawlor. Oh, sorry, give us a score.
Just because of the damage he did to him last season, I'm going to say Marcus Rashford because of the damage he did to Trent.
Okay. Lawlor, what do you reckon? He's dying to say United. I can see it in his face.
I'm going to say 2-0 United.
Oh, God.
I think it's going to be one of those wingers. It's going to be Rashford cutting in or Greenwood cutting in. Due a goal, would like to see him starting. Well, I'll go Greenwood.
Do you reckon he will start? Like, what do you reckon the chances are of him starting?
I don't know. Ollie doesn't seem to. I don't know if there's something else going on with him. I don't know what his attitude is like or for a young lad. I know he had the issues with England earlier on the season, but he just last year when he was playing the 3 up front, they were superb and Greenwood was quality. And now he seems if he's not playing Martial, Rashford, and Cavani, he's putting Pogba in a diamond shape and playing Pogba wide or left with 2 up top. So and
he has to play as many people forward as he can to beat Liverpool. So if he plays 2 up top and he plays 2 really high wingers, you have to pin Alexander-Arnold and Robinson
back. That's what they need to do. Like,
but that's why I think that because you're right in what you're saying. They do need to play people as far forward as possible. But that's where I think they might leave themselves open and it could be a whitewash for Liverpool. Like, that's why I do think that it's very likely that Liverpool could bash them. Like,
look, Pogba's been playing that role well and staying quite defensively. Matic, the 2 of them holding. Wan-Bissaka doesn't attack anyway. Can't cross his T's. And Luke Shaw, in all fairness to him, has played quite well this year.
Sorry, lads. That was another thing I wanted to talk about. This Luke Shaw tackle. What did we reckon? Did we reckon this was a red card or what?
Give over.
No. Never red, isn't it?
No.
You see Gary Neville apologised on Twitter.
Yeah.
For being too anti-bias.
What was he saying?
Anti-unbiased.
Lad, let's have a look.
No, it's not even unbiased. It was the fact that you have it here. Look at this.
Let's have a look at this.
Could this not get copyrighted now?
Could do.
Why did nobody say Bruno Fernandes penalty either?
I'm gonna skip forward on this because this could well get us fucked off this. By the way, this thing here as well, right? What about this tackle here by Brady? I think that's shocking that he got a yellow card because he well could have. If that free kick was given earlier, he wouldn't have even had to make that tackle. So that's why I think
the yellow card was rescinded.
Was it? Okay, sorry, I didn't see that.
It was rescinded because that play wouldn't have happened.
What do we reckon here, lads? Look at that. Kicks the ball, but you can clearly see he goes in a little bit follow through.
It's the ball.
I'm not having it. Like I've heard people saying that it's a red card. I'm not having it. I actually struggle to even think. I don't know whether it's because I'm defender. Lawler, you love a tackle as well. I'm struggling to see that even being a yellow card.
And the fact he bends his knees to try to stop himself going in as well. He doesn't go in straight legged.
Yeah, I don't think that's a red card. I thought one of you may have been saying that's a red all day, but I'm happy we're all on the same page.
Oh yeah, you thought you were expecting me to dive in and say,
yeah.
We're talking to the wrong person about yellow cards over here.
Right, lads, the next one, right? So we got all the score predictions on that. It's going to be a good game.
Well, no, it's not. We had a boat that's fucking up. Oh, no, you hit 2-0.
What was your score prediction? Was it 4-0 or a draw?
No, I went with the draw. I'm just saying there's a possibility of a 4-0 win. But yeah, look, we'll move on to lads. The next one is Man City. It looks like I've given up on this one, couldn't I? Man City and Crystal Palace. 1-7 for City, 7-1 for the draw, at 60-1 for Palace to win. It was the same as last week. Who were City playing? Was it Brighton? Was it
Brighton last night?
Brighton last night. Yeah, they were 16-1. I think Brighton were. So that seems.
Yeah, I know. I bought a fiver at Brighton just to see. I was like, that's fucking too good. They might nick one.
Just to see. Fucking hell. Lads, we won't spend too much longer on this because we're nearly at the hour mark there and we've another match to go and then we have a few little bits at the end to go through. So, Conor, what do you reckon on this one? Score prediction?
I think City are at the flow now. They're in the rhythm.
The mojo.
They're playing well. They have the mojo back a little bit. Not very convincing against Brighton, but do what they have to do. 3-0 City. Gonna go with their top goal scorer in all competitions this season, Phil Foden.
Oh yeah, quality player. Lawler,
if he plays,
I think he will. I put him into my fantasy football this week and he scored. Happy fucking days, like a champ.
For a fella who hasn't played every single game this season for them and he's still top goal scorer. He's ridiculous.
No, in fairness, they are missing like an out-and-out striker as well, with Jesus being injured, Aguero being injured, that kind of thing, and then De Bruyne really being an assist merchant as opposed to scoring loads of goals himself.
De Bruyne helped him. But he looks well in there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he plays really well in that false nine.
What was I going to say to you there? Can't remember. Sorry, Lawler. Score prediction on this one?
I think it'd be comfortable for City as well. I'm gonna go 4-1. I think they might concede. And
Zach Stefan might concede a goal if he plays. Hopefully he does.
Mahrez. I'll go Riyad Mahrez.
Sorry, what I was gonna say there was about Phil Foden. Apparently Pep has compared him to Messi in terms of when you looked at the two of them at the same age. He's not far off Messi's standard. Bit of a fucking mad statement to make, but that's how highly Pep rates him.
It's a bit of a stretcher.
And I think he came out and said that no money in the world would buy him or something like that. There's no way he's selling him. Tell that to the owner.
I can see he just want to get rid of him, but comparing him to Messi had 200 goals by the time he was 21. Do you know? It's
it's a big statement, and I'd he's obviously just trying to hype the player up. Maybe the player loves the hype, so. Seems to be performing well under it anyway. So
he's playing well though. In fairness, playing very well.
He's not like your typical kind of English winger where they feed into the hype. It was like actually what Micah Richards said. Sometimes you can feed into that hype and you just don't achieve what you want in your career. And it did happen with Micah Richards as well. I think he was one of the ones that were I was looking at him when he came through a City. I thought he was going to be fucking class
when he burst onto the scene.
Yeah,
he seems to be. Foden seems to be flying under the radar a little bit. Obviously, his name still gets brought up, but it's not like that like Jadon Sancho, Raheem Sterling. It's not to that kind of level where he seems to be doing his job, just knocking away at it. The same kind of as Mason Mount, I would say, just getting on with it, doing his job, not being blown out of proportion.
I think what helps him there is the likes of De Bruyne being in that team, because everybody just talks about how world class De Bruyne is. Yeah, like it takes a little bit of the attention away, but then when you look at his performances and his stats, his passing stats, it's hard to ignore him. Like, lads, I'm gonna go with a 3-0 win here for Man City, and I'm gonna go with a. Who do I reckon's gonna score? I'm gonna say De Bruyne because I think. Because De Bruyne, did you see him getting the penalty and then Sterling missing the penalty? Like, I just feel like De Bruyne has got a bit more. I'm gonna go with De Bruyne to score there. Right, lads, on to the next one and the last game of
relegation battle.
Yeah, Arsenal and Newcastle, 2-5 for Arsenal, 18-5 for the draw, and 7-1 for Newcastle. That's a mad price for Newcastle, I think, against an Arsenal team like that. Now they're hitting a bit form, but 2-5 is not a bad price. Like I do probably fancy Arsenal in this, and I do reckon they'll probably get a win. But 7-1 for Newcastle. You think a draw, do you?
18-5 for the draw. Arsenal drew tonight against Crystal Palace. From what I've seen of it, dull game.
Was that 0-0? Did it finish 0-0?
0-0 it ended, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fuck's sake. No, look, it's not fucking 18-5 isn't a bad price for the draw, so yeah, you might be onto something there. Lads, we'll do score predictions on this and then move off because we'll move on to something else. So, Conor, what do you reckon?
I think the issues at Newcastle are much deeper than just the results that they're showing at the moment. I reckon there's in-house feuding going on. There's to look for the manager. I don't think he's going to last too much longer, to be honest. I can see Bruce getting the bullet.
Bye, Bruce.
And no win in 7. So I'm going to put Arsenal in 2-0. And I will, for the lols, Mesut Ozil. No, I'm joking. I will go. Who the fuck do they have? I reckon your man Smith Rowe will play again. Is it Smith Rowe? That he scored. Who scored against fucking Ting last weekend? He got sent off and then it was rescinded and he scored.
I don't know. Can't remember.
Yeah, leave it with me.
Lawlor, what do you reckon?
Although I said it could be a draw, which it could be, I think I'm just going to go. I'm going to go 1-0 Arsenal, and I'm going to say Saka because he's been involved in everything going forward for the man. If there's a goal, it's coming from him or by him. So I'm going to go Saka.
Yeah, Emile Smith Rowe is who I'm going with. I was right.
All right, fair enough. Lads, I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Arsenal here, and I'm going to go with Lacazette to score. I had him in my fancy this week. Obviously, didn't score, so a little bit good.
I think you said it last week as well. Didn't score.
Yeah. 1 week I'll get him right. Right, lads, that's the fixtures done. Conor, have you a Melons Moan for us? Have you taught one on the way?
I mean, yeah, I have, but yeah, it's not football related, but it's still something that annoyed me this week.
Right, what have we got?
So one thing that annoyed me this week was fuck off.
Let's go.
I did my car insurance, right? So I had to renew my car insurance. I'm with Liberty. If they want to sponsor the podcast, they're more than welcome to. Did it online, spoke to them on the phone. They were like, go online, better, I can give you this. Online, I get this. Sound, I'll go online, I'll renew my car insurance. They don't send it out to you in the post anymore.
What?
They send me in an email form, which I can print off.
Right.
I don't have a printer, nor do I have access to a printer because of lockdown. Yeah. So now I'm sitting with the PDF on my phone, hoping that if I get stuck with the guards, I can just go.
That's fucking weird.
So I tried to call them, couldn't get through. Emailed their customer support, and I was like, "Can you send this out to me?" We don't send tax discount or insurance discount anymore because of COVID.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Who knew COVID was traveling in the post?
Those task discs, man, they're super spreaders.
No, it's not a task stick. It's a task stick. It's a task stick. I can't say it now. Forget it. Doesn't matter.
Tax.
Well, yeah.
Tax.
So they wouldn't send out the insurance disc in the post, and they are requiring me to print it off. So fuck them, and I have nowhere to print it off.
They're considering sponsoring the podcast now.
They're not considering sponsoring the podcast. They don't print off my fucking thing and send it to me. Never mind.
You have to put it out then as well, like, so they expect you to have
They give you an email with instructions. You're like, you must print this in color for it to be legally binding. You have to cut around this section. It has to be at least this big. What the fuck?
You know what?
That's
You should find out the cost of printing it in color and send them the receipt and take it off. Can you take that?
I have two options. Like, I have a printer back at home, like in Tala. So I can either, one, break lockdown, drive more than 5 kilometers to go back and print it. The guard stopped me. I have to say, I'm going to get my insurance disc. Two, I obliged by lockdown. I get stopped by the guards and I say, I don't have my insurance disc because I can't break lockdown to go and fucking print it.
But here's an email.
Or three, every time I get into my car, put my phone on the dash and just hope that they put my phone instead.
It's funny with the car insurance. It's such a strange fucking industry. Like I only renewed the car. Yeah, it's a money racket, right? So I got so I'm with 123 Go, right? And yeah, so 123 Go is the same company, but they have Go is a little black box that goes in the van or into the car, and it monitors how you drive. And as you go through the year, that's fine. And like it'll monitor your speed, it'll monitor your usage, which is like the time you're using it, and it'll also monitor.
It's like your brake force or something as well, isn't it?
You're sitting in the van.
How hard you're braking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but like it'll be it's that type of thing, right? So that's fine. Went through the whole year. You get a speed alert, and you have an app, and you can check your rating out of 10 on how you drove that time. Each time you turn the car on and off, it registers, gives you a score, right? So that was grand. The year ran out, so I got an email saying, right, this is your renewal price. So I think we paid $1,200 for it last year, and got a renewal price of I think it was $900. So I rang them up and I said, right, that's grand. I think maybe it could have been 800. So I rang them up and I was like, right, that's grand. I said, I've no problem with the price. I said, what's the story with the little black box? Can we get that out? Because I said, I don't want people like watching me how I'm driving anymore. So they were going, oh no, if you take this policy, you have to you renew another year with that black box. I was like, for fuck's sake. I said, right, well, I said, look, I'll just leave it for now. I'm not doing that. And so I went online, went around and start doing a few quotes online. So the lowest quote I got was, I think it was $750. Do you know who I got that with? 123. Not 123 Go. 123. So I rang them up and I said, so I'm after getting a quote there with 123, not 123 Go. So I'm after taking that for $750. And she was like, oh yeah, that's grand. I said, so are you removing that black box or what's the story with it? And you're like, oh no, that just stays in the car. It's the one that gets turned off as soon as your policy ends. So I was like, right, I'm pulling that out of the car. So are you going to reuse that or what's the story? Like no, you just pull it out of the car. So like, I just don't get it that and actually I rang up and I said, is that like when I did speak to him, I was like, is that the best price you can do on the policy, blah, blah, the only usual bullshit you do with insurance.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, we couldn't give you any, like you can only, actually no, sorry. The only way I could get that price was by renewing online. So that took out all the bullshit of me being able to ask for an extra discount. Because I asked your man for discount, and he goes, "No, mate." He goes, "Whatever I would give you would be much more than that. You get your discount when you renew online." So they've taken out all that fucking chance of you ringing some fella and going, "Here, I need a fucking discount. I'm after getting it for $600." So absolute bullshit. So eventually got a cheaper quote with the same company. And they got the black box removed, which they said they couldn't do without me renewing that price. So, bullshit. That's my mom as well, by the way.
Yeah, so I just want to say, Liberty, sort of shit out. Just send it to me in the post, like normal, like everything else, so I can just put it in the car and it'd be grand. I don't have to go print it off in the middle of fucking lockdown.
Car insurance in Ireland in comparison to the UK is just crazy.
What's it like in London, mate?
Like, considering I could quote back home, I think when I was leaving it was 1,500, considering I was 4 years driving, and I looked now 6 years driving, and it was 625 for the year.
That's mad. Some
Like,
difference, isn't it?
but it's the payout, the minimum
Does
payout
that come with stab protection, does it?
in Ireland. What?
Does that come with stab protection in case someone stabbed you through the window in London?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Comes with a stab
Or buy
vest.
that extra? Yeah.
It doesn't come with how much it costs to park on the side of the street either.
Is that expensive over there?
For living in London, mate.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, not where I am, thankfully.
Those who don't know the podcast, Graham moved to London to teach because he's shite at Irish.
Yeah.
Look,
That's the gist of it.
I'm just a key worker here. You know.
Right, lads, we're moving on from the moan. The next thing I want to do, and quickly, is Conor, your stocks. I need an update on how you're looking this week.
Right, so everyone knows that Bitcoin took a bit of a plunge this week, right? It was a little bit shaky, right? Just a little bit. The good news is, for me anyway, it's still up since November. So if you look at the Bitcoin plunge that it took, it's still up 100% for the month. So it did drop, but we're still up double our money just this month alone in the last 30 days.
Good.
And it's had a good day so far. So today it's back up 3%. So for the whole week since its dip, it's only down 1%. So back on that.
Yeah.
I'm on Ripple as well.
Hello.
So Ripple is like Bitcoin, but like much cheaper. So you can buy one Ripple for like, at the moment it's 24 cents.
Is Ripple the one that
I bought it at 19 cents. So it's still up for me. It's still up.
Stellar.
5 cents.
I bought Stellar.
Oh, bought Stellar. But obviously when Bitcoin took a dive, Ripple took a dive as well. So it's still up for me anyway. I bought it at its low, but it is down like 11% this week.
Yeah.
However, on the stock side, on the exchange,
Yeah. Oh, hello.
flying.
Oh, yes. What have we got?
African Amazon is up 16% in the last week.
Oh, nice one.
Nordstrom is up nearly 40% in the last week.
Jeez.
And Lemonade, that was up 70% last week, is up another 50% this week.
Hello. So you're doing well on the stock side of things.
So my $300 portfolio is now worth $460.
Oh, very nice. That's very nice. You gave one last week. Was it Power Plug or something like that you called it? Or...
Yeah, didn't invest in that. It actually dived this week as well. Yeah, because of it was kicked like water.
Yeah.
But it dived after the shite that happened in Washington last week.
All right, interesting.
On the Thursday night, dived afterwards the next day.
Right.
I think a lot of stuff plunged the next day as well. Not related to it, but just as things didn't go ahead, uncertainty, disruption, cash out kind of thing.
Yeah. Have you got one to watch this week or?
Yeah, let me have a look here.
When you're ready.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with, it's quite a well-known one. And just let me get it up here to see what it is.
Nike.
It is NVIDIA. So
very good.
NVIDIA do graphics cards for PCs.
Yeah, I have one on my laptop.
At the moment, it's trading at $528 a share. It is down today, but it's up the last week 1%. But the news coming around is that they're due to release a new budget entry graphics card in 2 weeks' time, or they're due to announce it, which would be the lowest price, high quality graphics card on the market for PC gamers. And look at the trend on it. Then anytime they've released something or announced something, they take a jump by about 10 or 15%. Now, sometimes it's short term if it turns out to be shy, but take that little jump. So it might be worth to get in and get out.
Yeah, it's a good little kind of in and out and make your money and shake it all about. Right, so that's all you've got on the stocks front then, is it?
Yeah, that's it. It was a bit shaky on the crypto side, but sure, look what we got, boy.
Right, sure, look, we'll see where we are next week with that. Right, lads, we'll move on to the last thing of the podcast, and that is our bets. Lawler, have you done any bets now, or have you put together anything now?
Neil.
Okay,
No.
right. Who's Neil? It's like Misha. Who's Misha?
Shit.
Yeah, no, that's grand. So, Connor, what have you got for me?
I've got a 9-fold,
Yeah.
a 6-fold banker. They're getting it right more outrageous every day. And then 4 draws.
Lovely. Right. I have a couple of bets there that I've done. I've done €15 worth of bets, so I'll bring them up here. So my first one that I have done is a 10-fold, 100 to 1. So I've gone with Hanover versus St. Pauli. So I've put a fiver on this, 512 returns. So Hanover to beat St. Pauli. I've done Wolves. I've done Monza. I've done Toulouse. Toulouse, who I think are a very good price here, by the way. Troyes, Monza are in one of the Italian B League, or
Italian B, Serie B, yeah.
Okay. Troyes, who are in the French League 2, or whatever it's called. Dundee, Accrington, Marseille, Auxerre, and PSG. So I think that's not a bad looking bet. Throw a fiver on it.
I think did you not bet against St. Pauli last week and they got a draw?
I think they got a draw, yeah.
Did you watch Dundee during the week?
Did they win, or did they beat St. Johnstone, was it?
No, Dundee during the week, they were playing that pub team in the cup and they beat them after extra time.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm sure they had some sort of COVID thing in that. We really loud of it. Conor, I'll go another one because I think I've got a few more than you do. So I've got one here, a 9-fold, €3 on it, 131 to 1.
Have you got Wolves in that first one as well?
Oh yeah, I know.
So you have the 12:30 on a Saturday in 2 bets.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I've probably got them in more of them. So Wolves, I've gone with Leeds just as an odds booster, I think, on this one. West Ham. This is a Premier League one, so this is one that I probably want to start doing every week, right? Because some people don't really bet on the likes of League One, Championship, and stuff like that. They like to do a Premier League bet. So what I've done is I've come up with all the results that we've just gone through there. Now some of these are probably different, so then I've said, but I've gone with this one purely on odds based. So I've gone with Wolves, Leeds, West Ham, Chelsea, Leicester, Tottenham. Gone with the draw with Liverpool and United. I've gone with City, even though they won the 7, probably not even worth throwing them in. And I've gone with Arsenal. I'm pretty sure that they're all the results that I've said. And savage odds, I think, of 131. So, yeah, so I've thrown £3 into it. So that's my Premier League one. So if anybody's interested in just does a few bets on the Premier League, that's what I've gone with anyway. So, Conor, what have you got there for me?
I'll do the 10-fold. I'll do the 10-fold. So it pays back I don't even know what the fuck that is. The fiver pays back 23 grand or 2300, 23 grand, 2300.
So it's about 400 to 1. Oh no, sorry, about 450 to 1 or so.
And it is like all lower league and Farden as well.
Love it.
So we've got Walsall to beat Oldham, Newport County to beat Salford, Exeter to beat Harrogate, Peterborough to beat MK Dons, Pompey to beat Fleetwood, Aberdeen to beat Ross County.
Nice.
Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. Torino to beat Spezia, Levante to beat Fuenlabrada. Nailed it.
I love it.
And then Guimaraes to beat Firenze.
The Portuguese League.
The Portuguese League. So a fiver pays back €2,300.
Oh, nice one. Give us your draws. You have a few draws, do you?
I've 4 draws done as well. Yeah.
Love a 4 draws.
So the 4 draws pays back £600.
Nice. 600 quid? I must have what, 5 or €6 on it?
I have a fiver on it.
Oh, yeah.
So I have Rochdale and Wigan to draw. Bristol Rovers and Charlton to draw.
I've done it myself.
Bristol City and Preston to draw. And then Leeds and Brighton.
Interesting. I've got 2 of them that you just said in my draws bet. So I'll just jump back onto my ones there because of another couple of ones. So I've got €2 bet here. This one's a bit more my stuff. 370 to 1. So I've gone with Sunderland, Bournemouth, Norwich. Norwich, I think, are a good price to beat Cardiff.
I don't know. Cardiff.
I know Cardiff are decent enough, but Norwich are in decent form. So I've thrown them in purely based on their odds there. I think that's 5 to 4 is a great price. I've gone with QPR to beat Wickham, Watford, Ipswich against Burton. Good price again. Burton bottom of the league, picking up points here and there, but nothing too mad. Portsmouth to beat Fleetwood, 13 to 10, another great price. 6 to 5 for Hull. Again, I think that's a really good price, and then 5 to 6 for Forest Green. So like them teams, they're all near enough the top of the table and in better form than the other team they're playing, but for some reason their odds are quite high. So I kind of like the likes of like the Ipswich, Portsmouth, Hull game in particular, and even probably the Norwich game. Maybe you could do with taking the Norwich game out if you wanted to reduce the risk on it. But I think the other two or three games there are really good prices for the teams that are in it. I do have a draw accumulator myself here. So I've gone with a 5-fold. Usually we go to 4 teams. I've gone with 5, and I've put €3 on it. So I've gone with Blackburn and Stoke to draw. I've gone with Bristol City and Preston. I've gone with Bristol Rovers and Charlton. Again, the two of them games you had as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then I've gone with Bolton and Cheltenham. And then I've gone with Newport and Salford. So I have a €3 bet on that, and it'll get me €1,172.98. What is your 6-fold banker? There you go. Crack them fucking fingers.
So this pays back at 50 to 1, which is what you want from your banker. You don't want shitty 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So I have West Ham to beat Burnley.
Okay.
I've got Derby to beat Rotherham.
Okay.
QPR to beat Wickham.
Yeah.
Accrington Stanley to beat Gillingham.
Who are they?
Exactly. Portsmouth to beat Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And Doncaster to beat Swindon.
That's the only one I don't like.
That's the one that's even money. So
yeah, that's the only one I don't like. I like the rest of them though. Having said that, fucking the way results are going this year, that could be fucking well achievable anyway. That's a decent one though.
Just under 500 quid off the tenner.
Yeah, that's a good one for 6 teams. I have a bit of a mad one that I'm gonna just throw out. I haven't done a banker. I'll probably do a banker, but I haven't done one. So I'll just show you this one here. Boom. This is the same type of bet where I won the 12 grand off €1. So I've just done. I had 7 teams in that one, but now I've just got 5 teams in this. So I've gone with Leeds, both teams to score and win. I've gone with Bournemouth, both teams to score and win. Portsmouth, both teams to score and win. Forest Green, both teams to score and win. And Marseille, both teams to score and win. I've put €2 on that, and I've gotten back 1,439 and 65 cents. So decent enough odds on it. Again, them bets are quite difficult to get, but look, I got one.
That's why it's 700 to 1, Kelly.
Yeah, we got a miracle shot before, so you can't win them if you don't do them. That's what I always say. Right, lads, that's everything covered now on the old podcast. Lawlor, how did you find your first pod? Will you be returning?
Well, I think I'll be returning on the final day of the season. What do you reckon?
When United lift the trophy, is it?
live stream on the TV behind them.
You'll either see me or you won't, depending on how results go.
Yeah. Yeah, you enjoyed it anyway, yeah?
Enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on. And my betting prowess, I'm sure, will develop.
Yeah, we'll get there. Right, lads, I'm going to end the podcast here. Conor, thanks for coming on.
Sound.
Cheers. Right, lads. Like I said, actually, I'm just going to cover it again. If you aren't following the Instagram page, you probably are because you're here because of that. Make sure you're going to FootballBets4UP on the Instagram page. Make sure you're following that.
With the jersey. Win a jersey.
Win a jersey before I go. Win a jersey. So I'm doing a giveaway. So it's just a giveaway. You don't have to do anything too mad. There's no fucking guessing or anything like that with scores. But it will actually be. I'm actually going to run a competition to win 500 quid as well. That'll be coming up in the next week or two as well. So
that's his money, by the way, Lawler. That's not hard. It's grand.
yeah, it's only my money.
Can I enter?
So all you have to do, you can enter. All you have to do is, I think, fucking tag two mates on the post on the Instagram page, like the post and whatever. The stuff is there, and you will be able to win any jersey you want. So any jersey you can pick out or you think of, whoever you support, whether it be fucking Chelsea or Accrington Stanley or whoever the fuck it is.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're trying to stick to football, but sure, look, we'll see what happens.
It's football.
Soccer. So look, there is a giveaway on the Instagram page. Make sure you get onto that and enter it because it's fucking free. Why not? Right, lads, I'm going to end the podcast there. Thanks for joining us. Hope everybody joins us next week and see you next week.